Hello there, everyone. My name is Crazy Kilo, and today we're going to be taking a look at Kooky Keypad. Now, I have covered this module before, but there was some changes that got updated to this, some different rules that I want to go over, but of course the module is still the same, and I actually needed to delete this old one because my voice was a little bit bad. But anyways, let's get into the module. So this is the way the module looks like. It's got 4 different buttons that could potentially be a symbol from the manual here, or it could be an alphanumeric letter, capitalized letter. And we have a little green button that will be our submit button, which we'll use later on. So what exactly is our goal? For step 1, we're trying to figure out the values of each of these 4 keys and figure out if we want to press them for step 2 to get a series of colors. So let's figure that out. So we're going to figure out 2 values for each button on the keypad, A and B. And if A and B is greater than or equal to 20, then the button needs to be pressed for step 2, which we'll get into later. So the value A is received from the set of tables below using the button symbol. There is a chance that the symbol may be a single capitalized letter, that's a typo. In this case, the alphabetic position of the character in the alphabet, A1, Z26. So let's get down each of the values of the symbols that are present on the module so we can get our A values down. So the first one we have is a triangle pointing to the right with a line below it and a slash through both of those, which is going to be equal to 17. 17, and the second button is the exact same thing. Next up, we have sort of like an upside down lowercase echo, which is worth 12 here. And then last one is a hotel. Hotel is simply just the alphanumeric position of 8, so that is what we're going to note down for that. And these are our A values. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out the value of B, and we're simply going to add it to A plus B, and we need to figure out if it's greater than or equal to 20. So the value of B is going to be either the first or the last digit based off of one rule. The value of B is the first digit of the serial number if there is an HDMI or RJ45 port. Do we have any of that on the BOM? Do we have an RJ45? Because I don't use a modded widget, which is an HDMI port. We do not have that on here. So what this means is the value of B is going to be the last digit of the serial number, which is a 5. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add 5 to each of these digits here. So we have 17 plus 5 is going to be 22, 17 plus 5 is going to be 22, 12 plus 5 is going to be 17, and 8 plus 5 is going to be 13. And now taking a look at our values here, what we have is we have 2 values that are over 20. And these are the 2 buttons that we're going to press to get to the step 2. So let's do that. So let's do 1, 2, not hitting the submit button, and a series of colors will appear, meaning we've done something correct. But if we happen to hit 1, 3, for example, it would give us a different series of colors. So just keep that in mind that you could be actually looking at something different. It won't give you a strike immediately until you hit the submit button. But a different series of colors will appear each time you press a different set of buttons. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to press the buttons we received from step 1, which we did here. We have 1.5 seconds after the last press module. We'll enter into color mode and may display colors on the buttons LEDs. And there is a possibility that no colors will actually be on the module, of course. And it will make all the buttons uninteractable. So for example, if we hold down 1, 2, let's see if we want to interact with 3 or 4, we cannot do that until they come back up. And this mode lasts for about 2 seconds, and of course you can press this as many times as you need to get all the colors. And now what we're going to do is we're going to note down the colors and go over a series of rules of which buttons we need to toggle and we need to press. So here are all of our colors. So we have crimson. Crimson is sort of like a brick red. It's very dark. Red is a normal red. Coral is it's a very bright orange, I'd say, and orange itself is a much darker orange. Lemon chiffon is sort of like your white. It's very close to white, sort of yellowish, bright yellow. Medium spring green, I guess I consider your mint. Deep sea green is kind of just a bit of an ugly color in my opinion. Cadet blue is a bit of a more of an azure color if you know like bamboozled stuff. I'd say slate blue is much more closer to a purple, and dark magenta is obviously pretty purple. So that's kind of the way that you can differentiate these colors. The differentiation, of course, was a lot better than it was beforehand. It's much easier to tell these colors apart from one another, and let's get into this. So, so let's note down the colors that we had in each position. We had quite a few colors pop up. So we have for our first one, we have medium spring green, medium spring. I'm going to just write down medium. Then the next one that we had is, I believe that's a coral. It looks like a coral. Then we have, yeah, that's definitely a coral. Then we have two reds right there. Just to make sure. I know for a fact that those two are the same, but they look like they're red. Yep, that's good. And that looks like a coral, so that's good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go through these series of rules, and it will give us and if a rule does apply, it will give us some buttons to toggle. And what toggling essentially means is that um, after all the rules are done, the ones that are still toggled are going to be the ones that we're going to submit. So, for example, if we happen to toggle top left and bottom right, because currently none of them are toggled right now. If we do top left and bottom right, for example, and if we happen to get another rule that says toggle top left and top right, we would simply get rid of top left, and then we'd add on top right. That's sort of how that works. And what we're going to do is after the end of each of these rules that's what we're going to submit into the module. So if the bomb has a two-factor, note to self, I don't really use two-factor that often. The only case that I would use two-factor is like Nexus. That's an actual mission because there's a lot of widgets on there. But I do not use two-factor. Most people don't tend to use two-factor because it does create a little bit of a complication. So this is not going to apply. Otherwise, we would toggle the top left and bottom right, coincidentally what I was just doing before. Next up, if more than one LED displayed a color, and the second LED displaying a color was coral or slate blue, that is true. We did have more than one LED displaying a color, and the second LED displayed a color in order, in reading order that is, was coral or slate blue. Coral was our second color, so we're going to be toggling the top right button. Toggling top right. If less than 3 LEDs displayed colors, or the bomb has exactly two port plates. This is important to pay attention to, because there are cases where it's and or it's an or. So keep that in mind and read it very carefully. If less than 3 LEDs displaying a color, no, we had 4, or the bomb has exactly 2 port plates. That is not true, we have 3 port plates. So this rule does not apply. If the colors medium spring green, red, or orange were displayed, we're going to toggle the top left button. We did have medium spring green, and all we need is one of those colors, but we happen to have 2 reds as well. So we're going to be toggling the top left. All right. If the bomb has an SIG or TRN indicator, as an SND, not a TRN, as an F for Quebec, nope. So that rule does not apply. If only one LED was displaying a color, nope, we had 4. If the first LED displaying a color in order was dark magenta, and last LED was displaying a color in order was lemon chiffon, no, that is not going to be true. It's one of the rarest rules to apply. That's why it toggles top left, top right, bottom, and bottom right buttons. So, but it needs to be and we didn't have any of those colors present. If either shade of green was displayed, which the shades of green are medium spring green and deep sea green, which is indeed true. Because we did have medium spring green present, we're going to toggle the top left and bottom left buttons. So we're going to add on the bottom left, but since we're toggling the top left, we're going to get rid of the top left as our answer right now. If cadet blue was not a displayed color, or deep sea green was not a displayed color, we did not have either one of those present, so that means that this rule is true. We're going to toggle the top right button. So we're going to get rid of the top right button. Since we did not have cadet blue, and we did not have deep sea green, we had mint spring green. So we're simply just not going to, that rule was true, and we're just simply going to toggle the top right button, which we get rid of top right. If the LEDs did not display any colors, we had colors, so don't worry. If at least one LED was not displaying a color, nope. And finally, if none of the buttons are currently in the state press, toggle the top right. That's if you happen to have no buttons that were toggled to be pressed for the ending submission, you would simply just toggle the top right button. And now, what we're going to do is we're simply going to press bottom left, and then we're going to hit submit, the submit button in the 1.5 second time frame. So let's hit bottom left, and then hit submit, and just like that is a solved module. Now I'm gonna be right back. My dog wants to go outside, so just give me a sec on that. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So let's get into another example here. Alrighty. So let's take a look. First things first, I'd like to figure out is getting value B, because that's actually like the only edgework component that you need to pay attention to for the first part. So do we have an RJ45 port? We do not. We have an RCA port. So we're going to be using value B as the last digit of the serial number. Our last digit of the serial number will be 3. All right, so we have a couple avenues we can go here. 3, 3, 3, 3. All right, and now let's get our symbols from the table here. So we have 17 for this first one right here. So that's going to equal 20. We have an arrow, which is 15. This less than sign is going to be 15. So 15 plus 3 is going to be 18. This normal echo, except it's not normal echo, is going to be 18. 3 plus 18 is 21. And this one is like a backwards 2, which is bent up a little bit, and it's got a Roman numeral 2. Keep in mind, these are the two symbols that these two symbols look very similar. One of them is, the right symbol is an echo, the right, and the right one over here is the Roman numeral 2. That's what I like to call it. And then 13 plus 3 is going to be 16. So the two that are greater than or equal to 20 is going to be top left and bottom, and top left and bottom left. So let's press those two, and let's see what colors we get. Orange, and I believe that was 3 slate blues. Let's try that again. Or maybe that's a coral. Let's take a closer look. That's a coral, yep. Coral and 3 slate blues. Slate, slate, and slate. Very interesting set. And let's figure out what we're going to be toggling. No two-factor present, as always. We do have more than one LED displaying a color, and the second LED displaying a color in order was coral or slate blue. Indeed, it was. Slate blue is our second color, and actually coral and slate blue are the only ones that we have present, so we're going to be toggling the top right. If less than 3 LEDs displayed colors, or the bottom has exactly 2 port plates. We have 1, we have 2. 2 port plates are indeed present. Exactly 2 port plates are present, so we're going to be toggling the bottom left and bottom right. Bottom left and bottom right. That's important you pay attention to that rule because we do have more than 3 LEDs displaying a color. However, we do have exactly 2 port plates. If medium, spring green, red, or orange were displayed, we don't have any of those colors present, so no. If the bomb has a SIG or TRN indicator, let's find out, as an NSA and a TRN. It does have a TRN indicator, so we're going to be toggling the bottom right and top right. So we're going to get rid of bottom right, and we're going to get rid of top right, because we had those toggled before, and now we're simply just going to toggle them back up. If only one LED was displaying a color, not true. The first LED displaying a color was dark magenta, nope, and last was lemon chiffon, nope. If either shade of green was displayed, nope, we did not have medium spring or deep sea green. If cadet blue was not a displayed color, yes, that is true. It's an OR case, so that means that this rule is true. So we're going to toggle the top right button. If the LEDs did not display any colors, nope. If at least one LED was not displaying a color, nope. If none of the buttons are currently in the state of press, no. We do have bottom left and top right to press, so that's what is going to be our answer. So we're going to do bottom left, top right, hit the submit button, and just like that, this is all module. Let's take a look at one final example. Let's see if we can get some other colors. I think out of all of these ones that I get the rarest is crimson. I have not seen a crimson case. Alrighty. So our last digit, our Bravo, we don't have an RJ, so it's going to be the last digit of the serial number is going to be 3 again. So 3, 3, 3, 3. And next up, we're going to have a big echo, big backwards echo. It's 18, so that's going to be 21. The upside down echo is going to give me 12, so 12 plus 3 is 15. 15, and for you, you're 12 as well, so that's going to be 15 for you as well. So the only button we're going to toggle for the first stage, but not submit, is going to be the top left. Okay, we have a couple interesting colors here. So we have, for this first one, I believe that was deep sea green. Yep, deep sea. And nothing for the top right. I believe that was cadet blue. And then that's medium spring. Let me just make sure of that. Deep sea, cadet, and medium spring. Got it. Alright, no two-factor present if more than one LED displaying a color is present, yep. But the second LED is displaying coral or slate blue. That is not true. The The second LED is not, the second LED displaying a color in order is cadet, which is not coral or slate blue. We don't have any of those present. So next. If less than 3 LEDs displaying a color, or the bomb is exactly 2 pour plates, we don't have any pour plates this time around, so that rule is not true. And we have exactly 3 LEDs displaying a color. If the colors medium spring green, red, or orange were displayed, medium spring green was displayed, so we're going to be talking in the top left. The bomb has a SIG or TRN, SIG or TRN indicator. TRN is indeed present, so we're going to be toggling bottom right and top right. Bottom right, top right. If only one LED was displaying a color, nope, that was 3 of them. First LED displaying a color was dark magenta, and we already know that this is false. If either shade of green was displayed, that is true. We had both of them actually present. So it's going to be toggling top left and bottom left. Top left and bottom left. If cadet blue was not a displayed color, no, that's not true. We did have cadet on the actual module, and deep sea green was not a displayed color. We did have both of those present, so this rule actually is not true since both of these colors were present. If the LEDs did not display any colors, nope. If at least one LED was not displaying a color, yes, that is true. Top right was not displaying a color, as you can see here. It was not displaying a color. So we're going to be toggling the bottom right. And now we do have buttons that are currently in the toggle position or ready to press. So that means that this rule does not apply. So we're going to be doing, ironically enough, bottom left and top right as our submission. And just like that is a solved module. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.